Hi, welcome back to Shelter Tales. This is Connie Galley, and with me today I have the pleasure of people I've been chasing, and I got the right person. And this is Lisa Agresti, and this is Nicole. What your last name, Nicole?
Strickland.
And this is
Lynette.
This is
Lynette. Oh,
Yes.
I know you, pretty girl. And they are from the Simon Foundation in Bloomfield on Shelter Road. I thought that was so cute.
Rescue Lane.
Rescue Lane.
Yes.
Okay. You was going to blow it. I left my notes at home, as I told you. But I was fascinated with the Simon Foundation because it's a huge facility, and it just came to the forefront of my vision about 2 years ago, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been doing this? I mean, it's a big facility to be
It is.
a hidden gem, I want to say.
It is a big facility. We moved in 2009,
Okay.
but the foundation's been a 501c3 nonprofit since about 2007.
Okay, and the family, the husband and wife that started it,
That's Mark and Linda Greenberg.
are they local people? Were they local
Actually,
people?
they live up in Litchfield County,
Okay.
but it originally started because they had properties in New York, and they would find these dogs that needed help, and they said, guess what, we can do something. And so they started the foundation. It was very small at first. They did it out of their home for a while, and then they had to move to a bigger home. And then they had to move to another bigger home.
Okay, then they got out of hand,
Yes.
as it does when you rescue animals. just
Exactly.
collect them.
Well, yes. And what they did then is they actually purchased a small boarding facility, and then they quickly outgrew that. There's so many animals in need,
Yes,
and they saw
unfortunately.
potential in all of them and wanted to help as many as they could. So that's when they looked for property, and they found the property in Bloomfield, and it took a couple years to build. It's a 36,000 square foot
So
facility.
they built that all at once. It wasn't
They
like
did.
add on, add on, add
Oh,
on. It
no.
was like,
It's all at
I'm making the
once.
commitment, and I'm going to do it. and
Correct.
They're two wonderful people. Are they very involved now, or have they been able to just to put a board in place so they don't have to do anything on a day-to-day basis?
Well, we have a very small board, which includes them, myself, and I think one other person. It's pretty much a private foundation.
Right. It's not you did tell me there's no government involvement as far as helping with funds.
Correct.
It's all privately done.
Yes.
Through
Through our donors, the public, when we need something, we put something on one of our media sites, our Facebook or our website, and say, we need detergent, we need dog food.
And they come through
and
for-
it's amazing what the public will do.
They, even if they can't, I have found in the years I've been doing this, in the years I've been working with rescue, is that people want to do something. Most people just love animals, and even if they can't take one in their home because they have too many, they have allergies, their kids have allergies, they really do want to help. And the needy. And Lynette, you are a lover.
She
You are
is.
a lover.
She just wants
Look
to
at
be
this.
touched, and when she first came to us, she was pretty shy. But
Well, tell me her story then. I know you found her in Hartford, so tell me her story.
Well, she was actually picked up by Hartford Animal Control. I believe she was a stray. I don't know her backstory, to be honest with you. Several months before that, a couple months before, there was a call from, I guess, a couple found a box in front of a vacant home, and it was at one of those strange warm days in the fall that we had. And they heard crying, and they went over to this box, and there were 10 puppies, 3 days old, with their umbilical cords attached, no mom in sight, no people in sight, and so they grabbed it up. They actually went to the Humane Society first, and they said, we don't have the people right now to be able to
take 10
hand
puppies
feed-
and
take 10
feed them.
puppies.
I mean,
Every-
how old did you say they were?
They were 3 days old.
So let me get this straight. Mom wasn't anywhere around,
Right.
but they still had the umbilical cords attached. But they were in a box, which
Yes.
means somebody did it. It's not
Absolutely.
like mom just had the babies and like, I got to go
Oh,
out and
no,
get something
the
to
box
eat.
was like this big. So, yeah, someone had left them there. So we, of course,
But
said,
somebody like that, see something, say something. That's
Yes,
what we've been stressing
they
this
did.
cold weather.
They
Somebody
did.
Somebody
and
did.
so what they did is we got a call, of course, because we're known for bottle feeding. We take them home.
And that is a huge commitment.
It is, especially at that age, because, I mean, at that age, they have no immune system. The likelihood of
They can't be
survival
in
is
a
very
shelter,
small,
yes.
very small. We were able to save 5 of them.
So 5 died
Yes.
because they were abandoned?
Well, they didn't have mom. They didn't have mom.
Okay.
We don't know
Wow.
how long they were in the box, and really the health of mom when she came in. If this is mom, which we
You're
think
saying
it
you
is,
think it is mom,
we
yeah.
think it is. Just there's a couple things: the spacing of the eyes. The way the ears fold, some of the puppies had the folds like that too.
Yeah.
And then they're starting to come like this.
And the brindle, not the brindling, you called it. Like she
She's,
looks like
she's
there's raindrops
dappled.
on her
She's
coat.
like almost like a dappled or a
Yeah,
merle.
she's got a
down
beautiful
in here.
coat. If you could see it, it's got like, looks like she got wet. Little
Yes,
raindrops all over.
yes.
And then one little tiny white on her head.
That's right, and her
Cute.
feet.
And her
And see,
feet,
she
yeah.
has them on her toes.
And she is a good, calm girl. Anybody looking for a good, calm girl who loves belly rubs, she came right
Yes.
over to me and got belly rubs. But she's not going to be breeding anymore.
Oh no,
She's not going to be breeding.
that's one thing we do when we take animals in. We totally vet them. They're neutered and spayed. They're dewormed. They're heartworm tested. They get all their vaccinations, and then we go to the next step, which is behavior. We test behavior.
As far as can they be with another animal or a young person in a house
Correct.
or a cat or whatever.
Or even on their own, we test, are they okay with a food bowl? I mean, a lot of these dogs have been starved for a long period of time.
So what would happen if they didn't have, how would they react?
Well, sometimes dogs, and also if they've been in a pack or if they've been in a shelter that doesn't feed, but they feed all the dogs at once
What
in
time?
one bowl, they can tend to be very
Aggression.
possessive
Yeah, food aggression.
of that bowl. So what we do then is if we know they have that, we then do modification, behavior shaping. We'll work with them until it desensitizes them and they know no one's taking your
They're gonna be
food.
fed.
You're okay. So a lot of things that your animal controls or other shelters
Can't
don't
do
have
or
the
don't-
luxury
right,
to do,
totally.
we have, which is time. We have time to get them to where they can be successful before we adopt them out.
Now, I read, like, every dog has its own bed, and it's a corunda bed, so it's up off the ground.
Correct.
So what does that do rather than, what does raising, because I have cats, I don't have dogs. So what does that do by raising a dog off the ground? with these
Well,
beds?
these corunda beds too, what they are is it's metal on the edge and then it's almost like a sling. So as they lay into it, it will conform to
their
their
body.
body. It's not a hard, flat surface.
I gotcha.
Some dogs choose though to use that flat surface because we have radiant heat in the floors for the dogs.
I want to come and live there. I want to corunda bed and radiant heat my floor. I can't stay out of bed in the
I
morning.
know.
When feet freeze.
That's
You're a
right.
spoiled girl. What's the
Yes.
difference from coming off the streets into heated floors and corunda beds and people who love you?
Yes.
People
She
who
gets
love
tons
you.
of spoils.
Yes,
Well,
she
but
does.
she's, I can see that, but she's a very little needy girl. She loves love, huh?
Yes.
So-
Well, and she's gained quite a bit of weight. She came in very skinny, so she's doing wonderfully, wonderful.
Well, and you can tell, I use the word feral because I'm used to, again, cats, but she certainly, you wonder if she had to be somebody's because, well, obviously with the babies in a box, yes, because she's loving. She's not afraid. I mean, the minute she came in, she came right over to me and she's not afraid. She wasn't hesitant. She was very loving. Gave me her belly. I mean, that's a sign of trust.
Well, but she wasn't like that when she came in.
Uh,
It takes a little while. She adapted quickly. But we also have volunteers. These dogs, as soon as their medical is done and we know they can't spread anything or they aren't a danger to the staff or the volunteers, we have dog walking 4 days a week. We have a trainer there 2 days a week. So we can assess them, and people have hands-on with these dogs 3 to 4 times a week, which
So
is
they're
great.
very used to-
They're getting out,
they're
being
getting used
walked
to
by
people.
different people. So
got a big head there.
she does.
So you have like a 3,000 square foot training facility out
Correct.
of the 36,000 foot big facility.
Right.
You do training, you walk the dogs, you work with the dogs, they are totally vetted before they come in. You also have a facility that you do have cats, and I think I read online it was like 50 at a time. What would be your maximum of dog and cat population where you have to say, I don't think I can do this anymore? Do you have fosters who, if you have maxed out, say on cats, they'll take the cat home until you can get them placed?
Well, we have a very small circle of people that we do fostering with, just because fostering can get out of control very quickly. Our main thing is to make sure that the dogs and the cats receive the same type of care, and that they're always available if someone wants to look at them. We want to make sure that everything is done kind of the same way. So we do have our employees and some of our volunteers.
Can
If
take
we
it
need
home and bring
fosters,
it in.
then they do that.
Well, she adores you. Are you her special girl? Are you the person that walks
I may
her?
smell like one of her presumed puppies, as my brother did adopt one.
Oh, okay.
He's also part of the staff.
Because she's
Yes.
seeing, she's loving on you.
Well, and Nicole does a lot of the evening shifts, so she's in charge of doing the feeding and moving them around, and she helps with the medical. So she has a lot of hands-on time with the dogs, so
I
they
don't think
know.
They just see you as a food source, though. I think there's real love there.
They do expect dinner when I come in. It's a little early for that.
Nicole's here. Send out the
That's
warning.
right.
So how many dogs? And do they each have their own crates, like so they can get private time, or are they?
They have their own indoor-outdoor runs. We have 139 individual indoor-outdoor runs.
Wow.
And that allows them, I'd say, 16 square feet. Basically, they're almost 4 foot wide, and then we have radiant heat floors, and then it has a guillotine door in the middle, and then they have their own run
So they
outside.
can go outside. You're saying
Absolutely,
through that door,
absolutely.
without having you have to be there.
Correct.
And they're safe.
And then they're closed down at night, so
Okay.
they're locked down,
Okay.
so they're safe. But this allows them to be inside on a bed if they want, or they can lay outside in the afternoon in the sun.
If we ever get it.
I know, we will, we will.
I bought tulips because I can't stand to look at them. Can't stand the grim weather anymore.
Yes.
So you also have. So what would your max be inside for dogs and
Okay,
cats?
individual runs would be for dogs 139, but we also have a whelping suite, which if we have puppies, we can put the mom and pups in there, which is a separate area.
It's quiet and private. They
It's
don't
off
get
the
distracted
training room,
and all.
so it's totally separate. We do house right now Hartford and Bloomfield Pound on a separate spot of our kennel.
Okay, so now talk about that because Sherry was here,
Mm-hmm.
and I know she lost her job. I just met her in a restaurant by accident right before the function we were having about freezing animals.
Yes.
But she's back now, which is wonderful. But so they don't have facilities of their own. Hartford and Bloom, they don't have a facility of their own.
They've been with us, I think, for about 4 years, 4
So
or 5 years.
they can bring dogs they find off the street.
Yes, they have their totally separate
Okay, I did not know
section. This way, the Simon Foundation cares for their animals as far as the housing, the feeding, the cleaning. That way, it allows the animal control officers to be on the street, to do kind of what they need to do in order to get the animals safe. They bring the animals in, and when it's time, they either adopt them out to the public, get their own vetting. They take care of all of that. So we just provide them with the space
Safe
and
place
the accommodations,
I
if you
gotcha.
will, for the animals.
Well, it makes sense because Hartford, Bloomfield's so close, and if you would have 3 different facilities, that would just be kind of redundant,
Right.
particularly since you have the experts there. So 139 dogs you could care
Right.
for, plus whelping room, you said.
Yes.
And then cats, they're in a
Cats,
separate area?
They're in a separate wing. We have free roaming rooms that do have condos in them. So if the cats get along and they like each other, then they can be out and in the they all have big windows, and we have trees everywhere that they can be climbing on, and
Look
we
at those
can.
squirrels.
Yes.
Squirrel!
Yes.
We have our condos are two-sided, so instead of putting them in a smaller one, we have it open to 2, with an opening in the middle, so that if we have a fractious cat or a cat that doesn't want to be handled, you can clean one side gently,
Okay.
encourage the cat to the other side,
Okay.
and clean the
Okay.
other side.
Okay, yeah.
But we can do comfortably about 50 to 60 cats.
So and how many volunteers do you have doing all this cleaning, fixing,
Well, we have a
helping?
staff. We do
Yeah,
have staff
yeah.
because it's very important to have, like I said, consistency
Right,
and make
right.
sure that everyone's on the same page with the way animals are handled.
And if you're employed, you're going to come in. Sometimes volunteers may have other things,
Right.
and they're not able to be there all the time. But if you have staff, they're going to be there.
Well, we do have volunteers in with the cats. We have volunteer dog walking for events, for fundraising. We partner with Pet Value, and we do adoption events at some of the Pet Values.
Where's the nearest Pet Value?
There's
Is
one
there-
in Avon,
Oh,
and then
okay.
we also work out of the one in Winstead. And so they will take our cats, and they get adopted like that once
Yeah.
people come in there
Once
and
they're-
see them.
So you do, when are you open to allow people, say they wanted to come into the facility to see the cats or dogs? Are you open every day? Are there specific hours? Because it's kind of tough to do adoptions when you're trying to do everything else.
Correct.
I know that.
What we have cats in our lobby, and really that's about all that you could see as you come in.
Mm-hmm.
Our facility is open 7 days a week from 9 to 4.
Okay.
But what we like to do is have people, if they're interested in the animals, we have them fill out an application. They can do that online on our website, or people can come in and fill it out there. We have a computer right in the lobby where you can fill it out and see our animals on Pet Finder. It takes a day, maybe 2. The main thing is to get your vet reference.
Yeah, to get vetting
Right,
for them.
and
yeah.
make sure that that's
Right.
released. And then we'd set up an appointment, because we really want to do the one-on-one thing. Instead of people walking around and seeing animals that might not be appropriate for their
them,
home or
right.
their lifestyle, and they fall in love with a look.
Yes, or a kitten who's going to run up your drapes and across your ceiling and you're
Right.
70. Don't do that.
Right,
Don't
exactly,
do that.
exactly.
And take the older. That's the other question. I think I read you're doing again. I was in a rush to get out of the house, left all the notes all over the place.
That's okay.
It hasn't been a good morning. You adopt out older animals too.
We do.
That was the thing that struck my heart, because you always have to almost beg people to take older animals. And we try to say, the places I've worked, if you're 70, don't get a kitten, because God, they might live 19 years now. Who are you
That's
going to leave
right.
it to? It's like getting a parrot. Parrots
Yes.
you have to make sure one of your kids are going to take care
For
of.
like 100 years or
Yeah,
something,
they live
right?
100 years.
Yes.
They outlive you, your kid, and maybe
Your
your
three
grandkid,
generations.
Right.
So the older animals do have, I know February this month is
Yes.
Adopt a Senior. Unfortunately, this is going to run in March, but we can still talk about it because it's
Yes.
an everyday issue. Do you have a special push for senior animals? That they
We
should
do.
really be.
We
in
do. February, just because we have quite a few right now that we've had, some of them we've had for a long time, and it's getting to the point now where everybody's getting to that age where they're 10. We have some that are 14, some are 16. And a few of them are getting to the point where they really, we want them on someone's couch.
Yeah.
So for February, we decided what we're going to do is waive the adoption fee for an approved adopter. They would still go through the same approval process, and take a senior home and let them have the few
Comforted
years that
air.
they have in a
Right.
home
In a
environment.
So who's your longest, we'll talk about your longest resident here. We're going to
Oh
try to get that
my.
resident place.
Yeah.
Listen carefully, everybody. Okay.
Well, we have one old girl. Her name is Sandy.
Boy or dog or cat?
It's a dog.
Okay.
She is probably some kind of hound shepherd mix. She is sweet as can be. She is now actually in our whelping suite, because I want her to have some quiet. So she has her own little suite right now.
Okay.
But I would love for her to be on somebody's carpet, or she doesn't do other dogs well.
Okay.
She has mellowed. She loves people. But she does want someone that's going to be home.
You'd have to for a senior like
Yes.
that. I will tell you a little. And so people, Sandy,
Yes.
please take a look at her. If you've got, she might live another 4 years or
Right.
5 years, and that's all. She just needs someplace to go.
We have about 10 of them that are over. We're considering dogs that are 8 and over for
As a
this.
senior. Yeah.
Just so we can hopefully
Yeah.
get them
Move
out.
them out. What do you do? You must do events, so
Yes.
we can talk about your next event. When would that be?
Well, we have, I think it's going to be in March. I actually don't have the date, but we'll be posting it on our website.
Okay, so look on the website and give the website address, please, so people can look for that.
Okay. It's www.thesimonfoundation.org.
So don't forget the.
That's right.
So, and you can see her and some seniors, and I hope you do move your seniors. I used to do a big push on seniors. And seniors do need you home. I'll tell you a little quick story. I traveled for the last week and a half, and I have somebody coming into my house once a day, sometimes twice if she's in the area, to feed and do the litter and all. And my littlest cat was not happy with my absence that long.
Uh-oh.
And I came home, and I'm calling him Shreddy now, not Freddy.
Uh-oh.
No.
My tail claw, I don't know why, the tail just shredded the entire time.
You have fringe.
Never had fringe. I did not. well done, Freddie.
Yes, you would pay extra
Very
for
French
that.
looking. But, and never did that before, but that's because he was stressing.
Mm-hmm.
And now he just, I can't sit down without him being on me. So some animals really do need that. And that's where
Correct.
you can tell people, this animal needs a lot of attention.
Yes.
This animal can be more, cats I thought were a little more independent, and he has 3 brothers and sisters, but he was not happy.
Yes.
He was not happy.
Well,
How about
and
you?
they're all so individual, and that's why the kind
Right.
of clients that we really love to work with are the ones that come in and they just say, okay, this is our lifestyle, this is what we
Right,
do,
right.
and then we go through and we think of the dogs that might work for you, and we bring those dogs out for you to meet. So
Now-
that way there's no miscommunication.
What is your most, aside from this poor girl? You had a tough life, but you are a lover. You're a lover. What is your, I want to say, biggest success story of, like, can you think, I mean, you probably think of 10,000 animals
We
passed through your
do.
doors, but, you know, what would you say was your biggest success story? Any kind of tearjerkers?
Oh,
That's going to get them in.
We have, actually, we get those quite often.
I know. I'm sure you do.
I have a place that I work with very few rescues that are out of state. I do have a group down in North Carolina that they realize that I will take a pregnant mom. I will take a litter with a mom. I don't want the puppies without the mom.
Yeah.
I want those moms up here so that we can get them fixed, so they don't have to keep going through this continuous
Birthing
breeding
process, yeah.
because they're just out running loose.
Right.
So she will call me when there's animals that come in and need like that she knows that they'll get the medical care, they'll get the behavior that they need. There was this one dog they called me about, and they said she was very fearful, that no one could get near this dog, and she was going to be euthanized. We didn't even realize at that point that she was pregnant. But I drove down, and this was right on the border of South Carolina. I drive down to get the dogs myself whenever I can.
What kind of transport vehicle do you drive? You drive
Oh, we have a
van.
transit van.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. But
That's a drive.
there's problems with, taking these dogs that you cannot vaccinate completely if they're pregnant.
Right,
Or these puppies, and I don't want them to be exposed to other dogs. It's just safer, and that's one of my control things, I guess.
No. Well, years of dealing with it. You
Yes.
know.
So I went down, and the sun is rising, and I pulled up to this place. It was supposed to be a shelter where this dog was being kept, and it was really just like dirt everywhere. Tarps over fencing, things like that.
For shelter?
Yes,
Aye.
it was awful.
Aye.
And this woman brought me to this little caged area, and there was those plastic dog houses. There was the top to the dog house showing only, not the bottom. And the dirt came up, so there was an opening about this big where the opening for the dog house was. What had happened is the dog had dug a hole completely underneath so she could hide. She had built like a burrow. And so the only opening was like this. So in order to get her out, I actually had to bring the crate over to the opening, and she had to just gently tap on the back of the doghouse, and that dog came out and
She was
flew
scared,
into the crate.
scared. Yeah,
Terrified.
scared.
This dog was what I consider feral. This was a feral
Or abused?
dog.
I mean.
Well, yes, but I mean, the way she
Way she
acted was
acted.
feral. Once she got in, I had a couple more stops to pick up a couple of moms, but we got her up to the Simon Foundation, and we put her in the whelping room so she could have quiet, and that way people going by could stop and talk to her. It was several months before this dog stopped sitting in the corner facing the corner.
Oh my God.
I have pictures of this poor dog just sitting facing the corner with
Oh
her
my
head
God.
down because she didn't want to engage.
Terrified.
She was totally terrified. Little by little, people would go in. I would go in and sit on the outside so I didn't scare her and talk to her. We'd go in, read a book to her, sing, hum, and then very slowly I'd be able to get and sit inside the pen but away from her, not look at her directly.
Right.
And then eventually got to the point where, I'd throw little bits of cheese at it and then at her, and she would be interested in them. And this, like I said, this is a very long process. And then one day I had it in my hand, and she came and took it from my hand.
that was your success story after all those months.
yes,
oh my gosh,
yes.
that's wonderful.
And it turned out she finally trusted everyone enough. We have a fabulous trainer. We have great staff. Everybody, this was a joint thing. Everybody took time to try to socialize this
Right.
dog. She ended up being the happiest dog. She ended up,
What a life change for her.
it was.
What a
And,
life
and it
change.
was about a year, easily.
And she got adopted.
She ended up getting adopted.
Adopted.
She's doing well. She's living with another dog. She's on the couch. So that's our luxury, is we have the time to
Right.
be able to take an animal.
Which is very different from a lot of
Yes.
shelters. And you have such a lot of people doing it.
Right.
So, website again is www.thesimonfoundation.org.
Correct.
.org.
Yes.
Their hours are 9 to 4,
9 to 4.
7 days a week.
Yes.
You can see the cats. The dogs are kept separately, but they'll bring them to you once you describe your lifestyle, which I think is fabulous,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And this little girl and the other one, we're going to get Sandy and you a home. Yes, we
Wonderful.
are.
And if people can't adopt, we love for people to sign up and
Volunteers?
volunteer,
Yes,
because you can help maybe 10 animals in that
Anything,
5
yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
you know,
I mean,
5
if you're
hours.
retired and
Yes.
you want to walk a dog, don't want to own one, but want to walk it, everything's appreciated. Plus, they
Absolutely.
can find on your website what you need.
Yes.
As far as, like you said, detergent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have been a wonderful guest. You have been a wonderful guest.
You say
You're a
thank
good
you,
girl.
right?
You're
Yes.
a good girl. So you want to say goodbye to
hi?
everybody?
Say
Want
hi.
to say goodbye?
Say bye-bye.
You sit like a frog. You want to say goodbye? Say goodbye to everybody. Come on.
Thanks for having us
Oh,
today.
listen,
Thank
I
you. It was
a
appreciate
pleasure.
you coming and
Pleasure
bringing
meeting
her.
you.
She has a wonderful story, little frog girl. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
And you, thank you for coming, and I hope that you get your forever home soon because you are a lover. You
Oh, you're
are
getting a
lover.
hug. You're getting a hug.
You're a
Special
lover. Thank you
Valentine's
so
Day
much.
hug.
Thank you so much. Thank you.